the very first step was, okay, if we want to, if we have a thesis around that we can help our military community be better with their finances, how are we going to deliver content and education to help them do that? How are we going to better understand the opportunities out there from different vendors to different banks to different instruments, and distill that into a way that our military community at that age can absorb it and understand it. So obviously, we knew that we wanted to find someone who could do gift cards really well. But we also knew we needed to find someone who fundamentally cared about this community and was willing to think about what would a suite of products and services and content, and how would that get packaged to truly help the future of military finance. And that led us to a relatively big search of companies that had the ability to create what we knew that our customer community wanted. So we started with 62 embedded finance companies at the top of our funnel when we first started this search about, I think it was like 9 or 10 months ago at this point. Maybe even longer.
More. Oh,
We
more.
we yeah, we looked at a lot of companies, and as we started looking at these companies, between myself and a bunch of my senior leaders on the team, we recognized that if we were going to truly get into this, we needed to hire someone that was dedicated to helping us push through, and that's how Dallas joined the team. And so Dallas runs all of our fintech strategies for us as our program manager and product manager. Um, and so we basically got to this point where we were down to, I think, 10, 15, embedded finance, banking as a service vendors. We said to Dallas, here are the requirements. Help us narrow this down to the folks that can really do this. And we narrowed it down to three folks that really had all the bells and whistles that we wanted with just the gift cards piece, but also had a very good understanding of what we were trying to do in creating this wellness for military finance in the future. And so that's kind of how we got to that, final stage of folks, as we were moving into this embedded finance stage for Sandboxx.
I won't, embarrass you by asking you who the competition was. But what made you or put you on the spot, let's put it this way.
Yeah,
But what sort of kind of, helped you make the final choice?
it really came down to two things. Um, the first one was relatively easy, but it was my engineering team took a deep dive on the tech stacks, and Alvier was clearly ahead of the rest of the competition. The way that you guys have put your documentation together, the clarity in the APIs, and the process around regulation, and the investment that you've made in helping teams understand the regulation and how to understand the project management of bringing a variety of products to market was above anything that we'd seen. But I think honestly, the thing that sold me, Yuval, was actually getting to know you and understanding your background. Seriously, getting to know your background in serving the military, and understanding your ethics and the way you felt about service, and how excited you were about this opportunity, to rewrite the history books for military finance. And so it was I think it was an easy trade on the tech side for me personally, but me getting to know you and then getting to know your team was incredible. And I remember that was, I think it was a Saturday. You and I were going back and forth on negotiations, and we got it signed over the weekend.
Right.
So I have to say that it was a remarkable experience, from starting with 62 embedded finance companies, and I'm sure there's hundreds out there, but starting with 62 that we thought fit the bill, and ended up with just an incredible partner in you and Alvier.